Hello everyone, welcome to episode 5 of this Make a Game series in Unreal. In this video I'm going to show you how to shoot projectiles, how to damage the enemy, and how to make the enemy destroy when it has got enough projectiles. I'll also show you how to rotate the player around the mouse. So let's start off by making a projector. This will be an actor named Projector. And this projectile will have three components. And these are box collision, and that will be the root, Q, and I will scale it down to half. Notice I have this stuff locked here so that it can scale on all axes. And the third one I'll have is projectile movements. And let's compile and save, and what we will do is that we'll have this move forward. So a handy thing about projectile movement is that projectile movement has already the necessary functions for you to make this move forward. And so if we go under here in velocity, we'll just make the X, which is the front axis, maybe 200. 200 on the X for velocity, and on the initial speed, I'll make it 2000. Simply because I want it to go fast. When we do a simulation, it would go like that. You can also choose for it to bounce. So if you want a bouncy effect, you can make it bounce. Now, the only thing we actually need to do here with the nodes is that we need to make sure that this stuff destroys on projectile stop, so that it won't cause any collision problems or any problems whatsoever. And we can also bring it out to the level to see if it actually does something. As you can see, it did fling out, which means the projectile was working. And if we open up the main character window here, which is right here open, we'll see we still have this stuff. But what I want to do is to spawn the projectile when we click. And so instead of spawning things where the mouse cursor hits, we can spawn them a little above where the player is. So if I get the act, and if I get a plus vector, and this plus vector will add the actor location, and we'll also get the control rotation. We'll plug that to the rotation, and we'll also have to add this. Now, if we press play, you would see that this stuff actually fires. But what I want to do now is to space it out a little and add the forward vector of the control rotation to the vector node. Remember that the forward vector is the x-axis, but you may still see it firing like this. That's because the x-axis is actually facing this way. If we rotate the character, it should rotate along with it. And so how we can rotate the actor in game with the mouse is through this. The sequence node in the first sequence, you can do this. Set control rotation. Make sure you uncheck context sensitive. Set control rotation. And here we'll get hit results under cursor by channel. Make sure to get the player controller. Also need to break hit results. Also need to expand the hit results and the location. There comes the important parts. The location is the start of find look at rotation. Well, it's the targets. And what we'll do now is that the targets at where the character will look at is the location and the start is the actor location. But we don't want this to rotate up and down. So let's try splitting the struct pin and make a new rotator. This time it only inherits the yaw rotation so that it will look as if the player is rotating smoothly. And if we press play, and also you need to get the control, you need to get the player controller for this, mainly because the character blueprint is not the controller blueprint itself. And if we press play, as you can see, it's rotating. And what we want right now is the enemy to take damage. So if we go to the begin overlap box, because we want this stuff to also sense the enemy damage the player, what I want to do is to add a sequence node. Then one will be the box casting the actor to the projector. And we actually don't really need damage function from the projectile, but what we need to do is to set the health. What we need to do is to make a health variable, make it a float, and set the health. When we set the health, I have to set it as itself minus a random int in range converted to a float. So if we do minus float get health, get random integer in range, maybe a max from 10 to 100. That's the enemy health. We compile it. I'll set it to 500. And here we'll convert it to a float. And just to make sure, we will print the string. With using the custom health checker and the health, if it's true that the health If you didn't see what the health checker is, it actually checks whether it's less than or equals to 0, the health grading. If it's true, it destroys the actor. If it's false, it's a gate. And we go through it. And I also need to set the show mouse cursor to true, because so that we'll be able to see what the mouse cursor is. Because keep in mind that rotation will only function if it's on something hittable. So if we replay again, as you can see, the enemy destroyed and the player can fully rotate, and this stuff can spiral out of control with shooting the projectiles. So this was the tutorials for now. If you liked the video, then please comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you view the next one. Goodbye.